Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 unsolved mysteries finally solved. The world is full of unexplained mysteries. We all know the world's biggest mysteries include Bigfoot, the Bermuda Triangle, and many more. But a lot of people don't know that many of these mysteries have already been solved. This video will expose the truth behind unsolved mysteries scientists and experts have finally solved. Before we get into it, leave a like and subscribe, and comment "I subscribed" and I'll try to reply. Coming in at number 10, we have Bermuda Triangle. This is likely the most infamous mystery in the world. For years, dozens of planes and ships carrying thousands of people are lost in an area of the sea named the Bermuda Triangle. It's commonly thought that it's unknown what the reason for this is. A popular theory is alien abduction, as UFOs are sometimes reported by plane pilots before they vanish. Some assume the sea is so dangerous that rogue waves sink ships. But that doesn't explain the plane disappearances, and scientists say there's no large waves in the area, so it can't be that. Well, little known research has concluded the real truth behind the Bermuda Triangle. The area actually has lots of air bubbles in the water. These can grow to massive sizes and then pop, destroying planes and ships alike. And of course, making them sink or fall to the depths of the waters. And as for the UFO reports, the UFOs are likely just the bubbles rising into the air. So, now you know the answer to one of the world's biggest mysteries. Next up we have Bigfoot. We've all heard of monsters and urban legends, but no one is more famous than Bigfoot. Bigfoot is said to be a Sasquatch, which is a mythical and dangerous creature. It apparently resides in Yakima, Washington, and there have been reported sightings of him ever since 1811. The most prominent piece of evidence that leads some to believe that Bigfoot is real is this photograph. It's been featured in many documentaries, newspapers, and other studies about the existence of Bigfoot, but this photo was fake. It was taken back in the 1950s by Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin. The image is actually of their friend Bob Hieronymus in a suit. They publicly admitted it was fake back in 1964, but for some reason, the image is still evidence of Bigfoot's existence to some. Next up we have human magnets. You may or may not have heard of these people. They are often in documentaries, in the news, or on TV shows. These people are said to be magnetic. They have the ability to cause magnetic objects to stick to them. These can sometimes be light, such as a fork, or something heavy like an iron. However, this power disappears if they bathe. Their sweat and bodily oils are actually what are making these things stick. And if you rubbed powder on these people, their powers would disappear. So, the people aren't magnetic, just oily. Next up we have crystal skulls. Whether it's in movies or museums, we all know about the legendary crystal skulls. So far, 6 have been found around the world. They're thought to be related to ancient Mayan mythology, and by extension of this are also thought to have been created by ancient Mayans. But this is not the case. Not only have the skulls been found recently, it appears they've been created recently. This is because they've been made with modern tools. I guess this brings up another mystery, that being who in the modern world is making these. On the other hand, it does explain the mystery of where these things are from and how valuable they are. Next up we have Flying Dutchman. This ship is often referenced in popular culture. That is because it's one of the most puzzling and mysterious ships of all time. Since the 1700s, sailors have reported seeing a ship floating through the air. And thanks to this, the ship has been nicknamed the Flying Dutchman. Legend has it that the ghost ship is home to ghosts of anyone who has passed away at sea. But scientists have finally come up with an answer to this mystery. The sailors who see the Flying Dutchman are actually experiencing a mirage called Fata Morgana. It's an optical illusion that makes faraway ships appear to be floating. So really all the sailors are seeing are other ships. And it's simply an optical distortion that makes it look like they're floating. Next up we have the bloop. The bloop is a mysterious low-frequency sound that was detected by earthquake monitoring microphones. The sound was a mystery itself, but the really odd thing about the sound is where it came from. The sound came from the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It's called the bloop because it sounded like a series of bloops when it was sped up by 16 times. Some suggest aliens interfering with frequencies, or perhaps mermaids and fishmen are causing the noises. But scientists have recently concluded the sound is from ice quakes, which is when icebergs crack and break into the ocean. Way to ruin the fun, science. Just like at school. Next up we have Stonehenge. Stonehenge is a massive monument made of stone. Today we have giant skyscrapers and structures, making Stonehenge look less impressive. But remember, this was built about 5,000 years ago when they had little to no tools. Yet, they were still able to transport huge stones to make it, and even stack stones on top of each other. Many have suggested aliens are at work, or perhaps a mythical giant or strongman. It really does seem impossible, but after more than 4,000 years of research, scientists have finally figured it out. It turns out, all those years ago, thousands of men used primitive transportation devices, comprised of only manpower and wooden logs. They would use the wooden logs to roll the stones hundreds of miles. It still doesn't explain why this was built, but at least we know how. Next up we have Japanese sea monster. Sea monsters are a hot topic online, and what country is better known for them than Japan? Well, in 1977, a carcass of a sea monster was discovered by a Japanese fishing vessel in the sea. The fishermen caught the dragon-looking creature and took this photograph. However, they had to dump it back in the water as to not spoil the fish they were catching. It looks like a plesiosaur carcass, and some believe this is the last preserved dinosaur carcass thanks to the chemicals in the water. Imagine throwing something like that away. Well, don't speak so soon, this was not a dinosaur carcass. It's actually more likely to be a decomposing shark carcass. The shark's sides tend to droop down, much like wings, and the amino acid in the water causes the bones to wear down too. Sorry, but this is no dinosaur. Next up we have sailing stones. Sailing stones are a phenomena that occurs in the Death Valley Desert. Large 800-pound stones move around all by themselves in random directions. They leave deep marks in the ground, and it's a mystery as to how these stones move around all by themselves. But it's not actually all by themselves. The stones are located in a lake called Racetrack Playa, but as it's a desert, this lake is often dried up. However, the lake sometimes floods and leaves a slidey surface. Once the stones are on the slippery ground, all it takes is a big gust of wind to blow them all over the place, thus explaining the stones moving around with no human interference. Next up we have ghosts. Ghosts, myth or reality? People have been debating it for years, and chances are you've gotten into a debate about this with a friend or family member before. That is, as a third of people believe in ghosts. Well, now there is no need for debate. Scientists have confirmed that some people actually do see ghosts, but they're not really there. These people have active left temporal junctions. This is a small electric shock in your brain which can sometimes cause you to see someone you know in a room with you, when in reality it's something else like an object or a shadow. And sometimes you don't even realize who it is, leading to many ghost sightings. No need to keep the nightlight on now. And that just about wraps up this video. Check out the poll in the top right corner and you can vote for the biggest mystery finally solved. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe.